𝗨𝗏𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
And boom, boom, boom. We're live, everybody. Hey, welcome to Red TV and Conversation. My name is Peter Clark. So happy to have you here today. Hey, listen, happy Random Act of Kindness Day to everybody out there right now. Thank you for watching. If you're here for the first time, thanks for showing up. Appreciate that. If you're here that you've seen this show before, I even thank you more because you know what's coming up. You're going to have some fun, all that kind of stuff. Listen, I can't look at this lineup over here. I'm so over I can't even find my words. I'm so pumped today because kindness is a big deal to me. Anyone who watches the show, you know how I end the show. I end the show every day with basically be kind out there. And so kindness is such an important thing in our lives. And gosh, do we ever need more in the world than ever before? I mean, do we ever need it more than ever? We have a full lineup over here. This is going to move so fast, everybody, because normally I do one-on-ones, but I have four unbelievable people that I could spend multiple hours with each and every one of them, just so you know, each and every one of them, and so on. So I just want to put up a couple quick one-liners here just to make sure. Listen, this is how you can connect with us. We're streaming right now. We're across, let's see, we're on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch and anything.com the kids are out doing. We're probably out doing that. So we're running across all of the internet right now, and we're hoping that we're going to have a great conversation about kindness today. So let's get right to it here. As you can see, wonderful guests today. Claude, David, Jacqueline, and Brooke are going to be here. We're going to be talking about that. Hey, everybody, let's talk about this very special day. It's Random Act of Kindness Day. Sometimes I say acts. And act, if you hear that throughout the show, it's going to happen. Because, of course, you can do more than one if you want to. You can always do more than one whenever you want to. It's a fabulous day. And while I was doing my research, of course, this one particular organization kept coming up because, of course, generally speaking, I guess you could argue they're responsible for this. So, it only makes sense that we reach out to that organization and find out more. So we're going to talk quickly here with Brooke. We're going to have Jacqueline come up. Claude and David's going to join us for a little bit. We're going to have conversation. If you have questions, if you have suggestions about being kind in the world, hey, put them in the comments. You know, I read every single one of them. I'm going to go through every single one of them and make sure that we connect that way. So let's get right to the show. Over there, look at that lovely person way down in the far corner over there, Brooke Jones. I haven't met her before. I just reached out to her and said, hey, you want to come on this show? She's like, sure, why not? It's a great day to do it. And I couldn't think of a better organization to reach out to than a Random Acts of Kindness Day, or sorry, kindness.org. I'll put that up in a second. You'll see. Would you please welcome everybody? Brooke Jones, how are you?
I am great. Thanks for having me here, Peter.
Yeah, good to see you. Listen, I didn't say it just before we came on. I wanted to make sure I could hear you and see you. I love the glasses. Super
thank
cool.
you.
Super cool. Just want to say, hey, happy Random Acts of Kindness Day or Act of Kindness Day. You are the vice president of this foundation, and listen, thank you for what you do, for starters. I mean, I think it's unbelievable. I'm going to put some information along the bottom there about what this is and so on. Again, it's such a great day for you today because this is the pinnacle of what you do. Just so that everybody kind of puts it into context, tell us a little bit about that foundation. I'm going to bring up your website so people can see it. Talk us through, your mandate of what the foundation's all about, and then we'll talk about why kindness matters. So tell us a little bit about the foundation. It's good to meet you. And
it's good to meet you too. Well, the foundation, we've been around for over 20 years. we focus on the idea of making kindness the norm. That's the idea. Because I think we all are aware of so much negativity that we have in our lives, whether it's on our news feed or our social media feed. Um, and we know when we see those amazing stories of kindness and compassion and empathy that that's what really hits us. And so we want to make that the norm. So we do that in schools. We offer a social emotional learning curriculum completely free of charge. We are all over Canada, actually. We did all of our research in Canada, and we work in workplaces trying to make a more compassionate, caring, and safe workplace. And then in the home and communities, how do we connect more with our neighbors and our friends in our local community?
Fantastic. Well, I love the fact that you just brought something up that I literally just did a show this week talking about happiness at work. And you just mentioned the idea of kindness in the workplace. And I'll be talking to some other guests about that today. What's your general thoughts on that for leaders and people in the work environment? How do we get that message? How do we get that message to leaders that leading with kindness, empathy, and compassion is actually not weakness, but it's a sense of a strength and something that people are looking for? How do we have that conversation?
I completely agree. It's a sense of strength. I look at it, and what I tell leaders and what I try to do in my own, team is be vulnerable. I think there's this idea that if you're in a leadership position, that you have to have some kind of air about you. And the reality is, we just went through a couple of years of trauma in many ways, and leaders didn't know how to respond or how to react or how to support their employees. So I think that the idea of being vulnerable and open and saying, I'm a person too. I've got problems. I've got health problems or family problems or whatever's going on, car problems. That if we connect on the level, the human being level, then we create a safer and more compassionate environment in the workplace.
Absolutely. And again, I think what's fascinating about this conversation that it's I know it's always been there, and I know that you've been part of this foundation for a long time. So this is part of your regular language, but certainly the last couple years have just amplified everything that we just talked about. Most people had to, yeah, so many things have happened in their lives where they lost jobs, lost loved ones, by the way, lost loved ones, lost the connection that they've had either with their own community, with the people that they work with, and so on. And basically your foundation is reminding people that, listen, we can go back to the community, we can go at work, we can find different places how to do it, and we can do it with little small acts of kindness. So talk to us a little bit about the idea of why it matters to go out and do these little things, and why today is such a big day for you guys. So I'm so excited, and thank you for being here. I so appreciate that. So what are we saying to people about going out and doing these little acts of kindness today, and actually make it a habit every day?
Absolutely, every day. I like to share with people the science of kindness. There's a real physiological piece to kindness, and what they found through research is that when you do an act of kindness, or you receive an act of kindness, or even witness an act of kindness, even to the point of seeing like somebody say a positive message on a Facebook feed. All of those things, you have the same physiological reaction. You have a decrease in cortisol, which is your stress hormone. You get an increase in oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, all of which we know feeds our mental health. We need that. So simple acts, like you said, they don't have to cost money. It can be opening the door for somebody, letting them into traffic, saying something kind on Twitter or Facebook. All of that gives you that same physiological reaction. And when you do it regularly, you're actually lowering your blood pressure. You're living longer. I mean, the health benefits are amazing.
You touched on a super sensitive subject for me. I had a heart event just recently in my life, and so and again, I know that genetics played a role, but also stress and anxiety played a role. I can openly and honestly say that, and I think just what you said, I really want to emphasize what you just said about blood pressure, about your health and wellness, your physicality of who you are as a physical being is so directly correlated with this idea of empathy, compassion, kindness. When you see it, when you're giving it and when you receive it. And I think I just wanted to emphasize what you just said there. It's so important that we have these conversations with people, that it's not just simply for us going out and finding some sort of spiritual connection with this, which is great. It's cool to be kind. There's no doubt about that. But there's a real benefit physically, as you said, correct?
That's correct. It has proven itself time and time again. It's why I do the work that I do. I did a TED talk about kindness and how it has affected me personally throughout my life, and how when medication and therapy were not cutting it for me, that this in fact was the thing that really pulled me out. And it continues to be that for myself. When I'm feeling really down, I'll go volunteer, or I'll go out of my way to do something kind, and it lifts me back up.
Fantastic. And yes, you have done a TED talk, everybody. Again, we have so much more to talk about. You know that, Brooke. We'll do this
Of
again.
course.
We'll do this again. You know that, right? I really wanted you to be here as part of this show, simply because, again, here's your website, Making Kind, and make kindness the norm. I love this, that you focus on education in schools. Talk a little bit about that. Can that be anything? I mean, can anything be more important than that? As kids and young people go back to schools, it's going to be fascinating to watch how we try to get back to, quote unquote, the new normal or the next normal. Talk about your work in the schools.
Yeah, so we have this social emotional learning curriculum, K through 12 here. I mean, it's actually in about 25,000 schools globally in various languages. But the idea is that we're teaching social emotional skills through some basic concepts. And we use concepts like courage, caring, inclusivity, integrity, respect, and responsibility. And my favorite one there is courage. Small kids think of courage as like a firefighter or a superhero. And the way we talk about courage is what I mentioned earlier in the workplace. It's vulnerability and it's humility. It's being able to say, I'm sorry when I did something wrong, or be vulnerable enough to ask for help. I mean, imagine what the world would look like if, as children, we learned that skill to ask for help and continued that into our adult years. Because I think we're wired as human beings to help each other, to support each other. So let's use that skill. Let's be vulnerable. Let's be courageous and ask for it when we need it.
Absolutely. I'm just scrolling through. I hope everyone's paying attention here and going to the website. There's free materials. There's all kinds of amazing ideas on here of how you can not even just bring it into your workplace and schools, into your home, into your community. There's only so many different ways that people can connect and figure out a way that what works for them. And, it reminds me all the time is that and I'll speak for myself from the position of is that I need to take care of myself so that I can take care of my community. So if I bring kindness and compassion and empathy into my own home, then it's going to be part of what I do when I'm out there, and so on. What's the message you want to leave with people today? We're going to certainly follow up on have more of conversation here, but leave us with what's the message right now? You have a message for the world you're speaking to, and let's pretend we're talking to everybody right now. Everybody who's out there right now who wants to hear what Brooke has to say. This is that. What's the message of today? What really is the essence of this beautiful day?
I think the message that I like to give to people is that, we're right now, it feels like all we're hearing is negativity. The message I want to tell people is tune in today and every day, but really today, there's so much kindness, there's so much joy, there's so much love out there. It's happening all around us. We are a part of it. So tune in when there's an opportunity to do something kind, or somebody does something kind for you. Sort of take that in, right? Enjoy it and feel the feelings that go with it. And then pass that on, pay it forward. Whatever that looks like for you, there are opportunities all over the place and they're happening everywhere. So just tune in.
Yeah, tune in, pay attention. Just pay attention. That, again, you hit another amazing concept that's been top of my mind for a couple of years now, specifically, is the negativity that we're just bombarded with a lot of negativity, but there's a lot of great people out there doing some amazing things. And like you said, just pay attention, get connected to your community and figure out ways. The website is www.randomactsofkindness.org, everybody. Go to that website, find out, get great just resources, finding out what's going on. It's global in the sense of its reach and so on. Hey, I think you mentioned something about you have some sort of program going on that's connected to one of the guests.
Yeah.
Tell that story.
It's exciting. Claude, who's going to be on later, I learned about this thing called Community, which is a texting group, and 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗃 is one of the folks that I've been following for quite some time. Love his messaging, and so it urged me. I thought, well, we want to do this with our followers, so we started the same program with our followers, and it's been amazing. As of today, I think we have about 7,000 people on there. If you want to text me, you are texting with me directly. It's not a robot. And my number is 303-529-2494. You get one little dose of inspiration every day.
Fantastic. I'll get that number up in the comments.
Awesome.
For us to make sure we have that. That is an amazing connection point.
I know.
I love that. I did not know this about what I did. This is why, listen, we're going to do this again. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Me too.
You know, it's just been a joy. I know it's such a short, but listen, I hope you're ready for the next time, because it's going to be a little
I
longer.
can't wait.
Just for a little longer next time. That's what it's going to be next time. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day doing what you're doing with your organization, and all the best. And thank you for inspiring us just to be kind out there. And that's what we're trying to do. Just be kind out there. So
yes.
Appreciate there. Good to see you. And you and I will talk again soon. That
sounds good.
Sure. Okay, we'll see you. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, fantastic. How cool is that? Listen, everybody, that's what we're doing today. Over my shoulder right there, Be Kind, Random Acts of Kindness Day. How could I have a show? How could I possibly have a show? How is it possible for me to have a show without this person coming up next? It's impossible. That's what it is. It's impossible. I just want to remind you what's coming. You know who's coming up next, don't you? Jacqueline's coming up next. I want to remind you, listen, this is what we're talking about today. It's Random Acts of Kindness Day. Just be kind out there, everybody. That's what we're talking about. And we're just asking the question, why does it matter? Sometimes we even have to question, we do question ourselves, but we know why it matters. It makes a really big difference. Now I'm excited. Now I'm feeling excited right now because I love this person. Simple as that. I'm just going to say it. It's on record now. Just recorded it. That's it. I love this person. She has been so kind to me beyond words. And since everything has happened to me, she's been just a cheerleader for me privately and even in these forums as well. So please, will everyone welcome this beautiful person, Jacqueline Way. How are ya? How are you?
I am so good. And that is so not kindness. That's just pure love in action, my friend. I love you. I can say that right back on the record.
Right back at you. Right back at you. It's so
you can do the meme. You can just like hit replay all the time. A little gift. I love you, Peter. I love you, Peter.
I love it. Listen, we're moving fast today. You're gonna. I hope you'll stick around after we keep going. Just
amazing. What a lineup. I'm like how honored am I? This is like unbelievable.
I'm so glad you're here. 365 Give. That's why we're here to talk about. I wanted to make sure we gave a good, solid shout out and use this opportunity to talk about your incredible depth of not only the knowledge about being kind, empathetic, and compassionate, but you've actually built an organization around it. I'm going to ask everyone, please, to go out to 365give.ca. Follow along, find out what's going on there. It's so there's so much information there, and she has this beautiful TED talk out there. I just checked 6.4 million views, everybody.
Crazy.
Yes, it is, right? That's a TEDx. That's a TEDx. I think the TED main stage is next. That's for sure.
I agree. I think so.
There you go. Let's get right to the topic of Random Acts of Kindness Day.
Bring it on.
What's this day for you? Let's talk about why this is
it's a really beautiful day for me. When I started 365 Give all those years ago, they were like my go-to, when I needed ideas, when, I wanted to, I always felt like I was chasing random acts of kindness. Like that was, the organization. I've had a chance to spend some time with Gary, and I have always felt like they were my beacon, that I always moved towards, because the fact that they kind of really started this whole movement of get out there and be kind, do your random acts. My kids, even they bring home a monthly random acts of kindness calendar to do it for this month, which is amazing. So every day we're practicing an act of kindness here at my home. And, it's like the staple. I'm just making a video actually to put up today. And I have this I have a bit of a thing, and I actually don't think, and I think what they've created is not random at all.
Mm.
And I know we call them random acts of kindness, but I think there's actually nothing random about being kind. I actually believe that kindness is who we are. It's innately who we are as human beings. And it just has to become an intentional practice. It's like a mindful practice. And that's the way that I see kindness, because it's innately who we are. Kindness literally is love in action. And every human being has that ability to, first of all, feel love, give love, put it out to the world. And when you actually take the time to reach out to someone else and be kind, that is an intentional love coming from your heart, coming out into your hands and out into the world. And so I actually don't see any act of kindness as random, because you have to take that time. You've got to be intentional, even if it's stopping to get money out of your pocket to give to a homeless person on the street. It's not random. It's intentional. And I love that. And I love that there are not just the random acts of kindness movements in the world, but I feel like there are so many movements going on that we're now making being good, doing good, being kind, and intention every day in our world. And I see it as just a gradual movement into everybody stepping fully into who they are as human beings.
Couldn't agree with you more. You say it so well all the time. That is why you are here. Here's the website, everybody. I wanted to make sure that we got that in.
Thanks, darling.
So much great things in here, everybody. It's .ca, by the way. It is 365give.ca. But as you can see, there's just so many resources on here. Look at this, the impact counter, which is fantastic. Again, the idea of giving, you've built this foundation, with the idea with your family. Your son was involved with that. I want, again, everyone go out and find all this. Jacqueline's been on the show a couple of times. We've talked about it. Let's send this message to the world right now, Jacqueline. Like, let's talk to somebody right now who is not feeling the kindness of the world. Where are we getting the hope and how are we holding on? The fact that we need to believe that deep down everyone is good. How do we hold on to that?
First of all, stop watching the news. That's always a good place to start. It's a habit that I have personally stopped doing. I believe it because I am it. And so when you see the impact that it makes by going out in the world and being kind, it affects everybody around you. It affects your family. It affects everybody at work. So the really beautiful thing, when you're going out and giving that out to the world in whatever way works for you, this doesn't have to cost money. Kindness isn't about money. Right? Kindness is just being considerate to each other. It is that holding the door. It is, potentially buying a coffee for a stranger, but it's really speaking nicely to each other. Right? And it's just showing up as kindness, literally. And I think that when we stop buying into what everything around us feeds us, in regards to the news, into regards to potentially what you're looking at Instagram, what you're looking at on YouTube, that's when we can say, what am I consuming? Because the more you consume of things that are not kind, the more your mind starts to go a little bit backwards. And that's what you're putting out to the world, because it's what you're consuming. It's like food. What you eat is what you are, literally. So it's how do we instead consume the good? How do we consume the positive? Friends of mine have, and he's here on LinkedIn as well, has an amazing organization. All they do is they make videos that are all about the good that's going on in the world. We have to look this. It's Michael. It's our friend Michael.
Oh, are you talking about Bright Vibes?
Yes, Bright Vibes. Thank you. You want to consume good? Go watch Bright Vibes newsfeed. Fill that with your, watch those every day. Your heart will be warmed.
Oh.
And there's so much goodness. Listen, I know Claude's coming up as well. Gary Vee, he's putting out so much good right now. He is telling people, yeah, go do business. Yeah, go be competitive. That's all okay. But be kind as you go. You don't have to be cutthroat. You don't have to tear people down. The people that are trying to tear you down. I was just watching a message of his yesterday. The people that are tearing you down are the people that need you the most. and that's the way that we have to look at it. And the more that we are kind, the more happiness it brings us, the more fulfilled in our life we are. It increases our well-being. I mean, the positive effects that it has, not only on the world around us, but on the positive effects that it has to our own bodies, to our own immune system, to lowering our stress levels. I mean, it's a remarkable effect that happens to every single human being. And I say this a lot, it is the common thread that runs through every human being, because we're built for it. Our bodies and our brains are built to give and to be kind because of the beautiful reaction, the positive chemical reactions that happen in our body. And we have to look at that. Like, that's not random. That doesn't just happen. It's how human beings are built.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Because again, I listen,
it's good for your heart.
I tear up. Yeah, it is good for your heart.
It's good for your heart.
I mean, when you call me, I tear up when you call me, for God's sake. I mean, like, I know what you mean. There's a beautiful effect to all of that. There's so many cool people watching, by the way, right now, Jacqueline, especially they're all fans.
Oh, you know what? And I saw so many friends as I was watching as well. Con is out there. I mean, everybody's here today. So amazing.
I just wanted to acknowledge everybody here. Jacqueline, we're going to talk again. So you stay here, right here with me now. But I just looked, Rhonda, good to see you. Hi, Rhonda. Right. Jennifer, good to see you. Thank you for tuning. Washington, D.C. in the house right there. So again, another quiet city, nothing going on there.
Nothing going on there.
Nothing going on there. Guests and friends, speakers. Hey, it is an important day. Gary, good to see you, my fine friend. Really good to see you. You guys are just throwing out some great comments here. Canadians, you Canadians are amazing.
Yeah, go Canadians, go.
I appreciate that. That's very kind.
We're the sweet, nice, lovely. I'm sorry. Got your back.
Don't watch the news right now, because that's enough. This is Canada, what you're watching right here right now. Hey, Melody, always good to see you. I just wanted to give a shout out. Great writer, beautiful person from Massachusetts. Love that accent. Con, good to see Con. Where is Con? Here he is. Good to see you, Con. Good to see you, buddy.
Oh my God, that is Con. That's who he is.
He's fantastic. Love that guy. And there's look, even you threw me up. Look, amazing.
I did. There you are.
There you are. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Absolutely, pay it forward. You're absolutely right, Jennifer. That's what this show is all about. We're going to talk about the idea of why it matters. What's the messaging here? And to your point, Jacqueline, I think earlier Brooke mentioned it about the physical effects. I know that you talk about a dose. So when we come on the next segment, when you come back,
our daily dose of happiness.
Yeah, let's talk about the physicality of that, because to me that's near and dear to my heart right now, like literally and figuratively.
Literally, good for your heart.
Good for your heart and soul, and it just makes you feel more connected to the world, and it's good for your physical body. And let's put it, here's the biggest journey, or the longest journey we'll take, right between our mind.
Drop from your head to your heart.
Absolutely. Right? So it's fantastic. Yes, intentionality. There you go. Intentionally consume something that feeds your soul. Thus, being around music for me, this kind of stuff, right? So. Appreciate that. And again, thank you so much, everybody. I'm in supply chain world, not blaming or see, Canada, we're good people. It's all good. So Jacqueline, again, I think what's important today is just the intention and spirit of what we're talking about here. I don't think there's any magic to the idea of being kind. Is a new concept. But I just wanted, before our guests jump on here, because I have a pocket of window, everybody. That's why this show is a little
good. I go with it. I know we're waiting.
Pocket of window for people.
You pop me in and out whenever you need. I'm good.
Yeah. What I wanted to say to you though is that you do know the physicality of it. You know how important it is. I'm going to talk to Claude and David about this as well, about the connection to leaders and stuff. I'm just curious. This is a long answer, but just give us a quick little nuance about. Are we expecting too much from leaders these days when it comes to being aware of using kindness and compassion in the workplace or build? Are we asking too much, I wonder?
You know what? Here's my answer is I don't know why leaders wouldn't. Because what we know about the science now, and you see this in the biggest corporations in the world, what they know about the science of happiness and compassion and kindness and what it does for your employees, what it does for your company. You know, I talk about the ROI of happiness all of the time, and well-being, and the return on investment that you put into your employees for helping them understand and then actually include activities that include giving back and kindness and compassion, that they're happier people, happier brains across the board, are more productive, they're more creative, they they have less stress, right? So
Yes.
all of these things, and not even, I mean, we can get into, and I know Claude will talk about this as well, is, you know, we talk about employee retention. You know, people want to be with companies that are doing good in the world. It gives their lives more purpose and meaning, rather than just showing up to work and doing like their everyday job 9 to 5. When you're including them in corporate social responsibility, when you're including them in kindness programs and compassion programs, they want to stay with your company. They feel connected. You know, we know that social connection is the number one thing that brings happiness to human beings. And you can do this all with activities right at work that include and empower your employees. And happier brains are just more productive. Your company will make more money. Bottom line.
I love it. This is beautiful bridge for the people that are in the green room right now.
You bring them in, because I can't wait to hear from them.
Know, this show normally just rocks and rolls. It just rocks.
Just
But
go, bring them on.
You know what? You know what I got on my hands here today, Jacqueline. Right? You know that. I love you. Thank you for showing up to me, and I'm going to come back to you like you wouldn't believe. Like yesterday, I'm going to come back. Hey everybody, I got like 15 minutes. This is just not how I roll. But one of these guys rolls like that. He has 15-minute chunks in his whole life. Boom, boom, boom. Love this guy. I mean, I can't believe I get to bring these two people together on one. I just can't stand it. I just can't stand what I'm going to watch right now. What's going to unfold. Will you please welcome everybody? Listen, I'll take 15 minutes to introduce either one of them. Haven't got time for that. We got to get right on. We got to get on with this. David Meltzer and how are ya?
Unbelievable. I could not ask for a better way to spend my random act of kindness day with the kindest people that I know. Claude, it's so awesome, especially to see you. I got to hug you virtually because I live for your hugs when I see you in person. I got to see Gary and AJ this weekend at Snoop's deal, and I was looking around for you, and we got to get together. I'm sorry. I know we have short on time, Peter. I love you both, but hello.
I love you so much. This makes my week. Thank you. And you just sent me such delicious knives. I can't handle it. So that's a whole other thing. But I love you.
These are all the secret stories, everybody. This is the cool stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Listen, I just want to tell you, both of you guys, you know how much I just so love you guys. I can't tell you how much it means to me. Claude, thank you for your kind messages about things that have been happening in my life. Appreciate that. David, listen, I can't tell you how much I learn from you every single moment. Every time I tune into you, 1 second, 5 seconds, and it can change my life. So thank you for that. I ask everyone to go out to dmeltzer.com. I'm going to talk about that in a second. I want to put things into context really, really quick because I love you guys to death. And none of this actually, in my mind, really, truly, none of this matters. None of this conversation, unless I ask, how are these two beautiful people right here?
They're so good.
How good are they?
Light of my lives.
Look at those souls right there. Oh my gosh. And your beautiful other half, everything's good. Yes, everyone's healthy and safe. That's all I want. That's what I wanted to know. And looky right here. We can't leave anyone out here. Look at this guy. What a rock star. Hey, how's that family?
Oh my gosh. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. And I am the most blessed human being, if not just to spend my day. The biggest compliment I got, Peter, yesterday was in an interview. Someone said, as everybody was posting all the famous people, the celebrities, the athletes, and entertainers, I saw Dave Meltzer sitting front row posting about his family. That's the most important thing in my life, especially the lady that's second to the end, who is my savior, my love, my light. And she is the most extraordinary woman ever, who did her first live podcast with me for Valentine's Day on a TV show. And I sat there crying in love going, how did I ever attract such an extraordinary woman? So thank you for putting them on there.
Oh, listen, a blessing to me. Just the fact that listen, again, that's why I was so happy for you when I saw the picture. I said, because I know he knows. I know he knows what that means, that he can do this with and for his family. So I appreciate that. I'm going to put things into context real quick because we have literally, I got to put a ticker up here because we got time ticking away, Peter. I want to put this into context because it will show, first of all, I want to do a throw to your show. Congratulations, David, on that. Claude, you're everywhere. You're on every podcast. You also happen to be on that show, which is unbelievable, everybody. It's on Amazon Prime. It's also on Bloomberg TV, if I'm not mistaken. And it actually then shows that you have a little bit of a relationship, which we all know. And Claude is going to set up the first question that we're going to do. So I'm going to do a little quick little clip. I hope this works out for you guys. Hey, shout out to the show. Here we go.
This is Office Hours, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
The name of the show is Office Hours, but I will tell you that as we shared space in the same building in New York, I would make sure anytime that we were at the office at Hudson Yards that I'd come up to see you, and literally we would have a heart-to-heart office hours. Nothing was out of bounds. We learned from each other. We shared, but it was from the heart that we were speaking. A lot of times it had nothing to do with business at all. We were, vulnerable and sharing our experiences and helping each other heal in those experiences and the advice that we could give each other to lead, extraordinary people and extraordinary companies.
Gary and I are brought in as something called kind candor, and you've heard of radical candor, but kind candor for us is really, really leading with empathy, compassion, kindness, and being able to still be honest.
Look at these guys. I mean, it's unbelievable. I just think, listen, I think that conversation. So let's just jump right to that. Leading with kindness. Claude, tell us a little bit about that you talked about right there. Why is that such an anchor for you and everything at Vayner? And I know David's a big fan of Gary and all your phenomenon, what you're doing there. Why is that such an anchor and it's such an important message right now?
Yeah, thank you, Peter and David. Kindness for me is kind of the purest form of us. I believe that when you strip away all of our masks and strip away all of our pretense and whatnot, we have our hearts and we have kindness, and that is who we are authentically. When nothing else shows up, we can count on kindness. We can count on the kindness of others. And I think sometimes we've moved so far away from that. So all I really want to do is bring that back into our workplaces, of course, into the world, spreading tenderness as much as we can, spreading compassion. When you win, I win. When David wins, I win. When I win, Peter wins. It's just this is an eternal circle that goes around and around and around if we let it.
If we let it. I love that. David, you mentioned about the heart-to-heart you guys had in that little clip. Congratulations on the show, by the way. Unbelievable. Super happy for you. What you talked about, the reason why you had those heart-to-hearts is that you were able to, from that, you mentioned the word healing. You mentioned the idea that you wanted to use those sort of conversations, those intimate conversations with Claude, to help other business leaders down the road when it comes to your coaching and your business model and so on. Why were those heart-to-hearts so important to you, and how are you bringing them forward? How do you do that?
I think learning 5 different levels of empathy or kindness. And, in business, a lot of people look at what you do. And so we had conversations about actions, but then it moved to what we say. And it's really important, even though we may have great intentions or do the right things, we still have to say the right things. And I think a lot of people get caught up in the cancel culture when they look at these differentiators between, okay, what are your actions and what are you saying? But then we also have to think and go beyond that to a third level of thinking about the kind things to do or the right things to do by clearing the interference between us and this greater source of love, light, and lessons. And then we talked about belief and that 4th layer of, what do you truly believe? It's one thing to show up at work and you do the right things and you say the right things and you may even think the right things, but what down deep is your energy? Is it thinking? And then where I love my chief heart officer, and I call her my chief heart friend, is we took it to the final level of feeling, of intuition. You know, when you can clear the interference between you and the omniscient, all powerful, all knowing light, love, and lesson that we all are connected to and through, and you feel it. So when I came on to this show, it wasn't just what I'm doing and saying and thinking and believing. You could see it. Go back and watch it. You can see what I feel about Peter and Claude. You can see how I feel. This is the truth. It's the highest vibration that we as essence have. And when you can bring that to the corporate world and heal the interference of the need to be right and the need to be offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, and the list goes on in the corporate world. But when you can think, say, do, feel, and believe all the things of truth, I don't call them random acts of kindness day. It's consistent act of kindness.
Love it. Oh, he's dropping the mic. Claude, he's dropping the mic on us already. Dave,
I love it.
he's always on his show. You see, this is what I love about this guy. I love this. That mic drop. Appreciate that. We're going to tweet. That's a tweetable moment, as Oprah would say. Claude, I'm going to throw something at you. No devil's advocate here. It really isn't. I just find this a fascinating question. And David, I hope that you will jump in on this as well. Are we asking too much of people right now? Stay with me on this. I mean, most leaders, you know, they find their way into those C-suites. Maybe they become VP of say whatever they become. They kind of work their way up and are kind of dogfighting it out. And then they get to this level, and then we're expecting them to have this unbelievable awareness of kindness, compassion, empathy, and so on. Are we asking too much of leaders to be that and be able to perform at what the corporate world expects of them?
I think they are sighing an enormous sigh of relief that this is what we not only are asking, we're providing for them. That is actually what I think, but it's stripping away all the ego and the guilt and the raw and the hustle to get down to the emotion of it all, the bravery of it all, the vulnerability, the soft skills, the gratitude David speaks about all the time. Remember, we're born with this. Somewhere along the line, we decided to put on the armor. We can take the armor off too. So I think this is business. This is where we're going. This is the evolution.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. I think you're right. It's just natural. David, what are your thoughts on this? Are we asking too much?
No, we're freeing. We're freeing the leaders to be intelligent followers. We're freeing them to go ahead and feel comfortable. I call it a Shakespearean revival, to feel comfortable to thine own self be true. And now the whole world is your stage, and we can utilize a collective consciousness, whether it be microcosm of a small company or a macrocosm as we grow these businesses, but truly they're just collective consciousness is together, and that we're freeing you to be yourself and to share yourself by being an intelligent follower. You don't have to push people along. You can learn your way along and then teach them and empower them to do the same.
Gosh, I love that. I love that. Again, I agree with you in the sense of, like I said, I don't think it's something new that we're feeling the shock of. I think what it is that maybe the last 2 years has just amplified so much, including the responsibilities of what leaders really are supposed to do, or should be expected to do anyway. I want to, instead of always asking questions, you guys do this full time. That's all you do is question after question after question. I just so appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here. I just want to give you the floor right now. I want you to use today as the backdrop, random acts or random act of kindness day. Gosh, why does it matter? What's the messaging here? What are we trying to say? I just wonder, I wonder if are we using it as just something to kind of try to make us feel good in the sense of, or is it something that at our core? What's the message here? So today, Claude, I'm going to give you the floor completely. What's the message to the world today about kindness?
Message is actually to take out your phone immediately and text 1 to 3 people randomly. I appreciate you. Thank you. I love you. I see you. Let's chat. I'm here for you. I believe in you. I think about you. That's really at the macro. And it seems so random, but it really is. It's every day. It's every single day. And David said something earlier about, this charge we all have to be right. And it's about being better in the world. That is the kindness. That is the right I want to be a part of. I'm not right. I just want to be better. I'm doing my part. And I'm grateful to meet people like you and David and everyone else. And we join hands and make this place, evolve this place into one that is full of tenderness and kindness and appreciation. And most importantly, love.
Oh, well said. Of course, it's well said, David. Here it is. You do this. Like, listen. By the way, I want to recommend everyone. Please go out to the website. All you have to do is Google the name. I mean, you are absolutely everywhere. So that's why, again, I know you do this all the time. But today, in the backdrop of random acts of kindness, whether it's in the corporate world, in your backyard, in your community, in your philanthropy, and as a person who has a foundation and so on, what is this day? What's the message to the world today about kindness?
It's really about coherence, and coherence is working with two different facets that I find fascinating, which is, take gratitude, for example. Gratitude, the only common denominator of happiness, whether you're rich or poor, sick or well, tall or short, it doesn't matter. If you're gracious, you're happy. But we can't even have coherence of happiness, meaning that everyone knows how powerful it is. Everyone knows it's free. Everyone knows that it takes 0.1 seconds to say, but yet we forget to say it. We forget to act it, and we don't remember or do it. And so what I want people to remember on this random act of kindness day is that we need to remember to be kind, and then to be kind to our future self by acting upon it, meaning being kind, doing things, doing good deeds. And doing good deeds are simple. You can say something nice. You can smile at someone. You don't have to go and volunteer your entire day feeding the world, which would be nice, but you could literally just be nice. The nicest thing about kindness is when you give kindness, God, he actually rewards you with dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin and endorphins. He gives you a dose of happiness. And those who receive your kindness, they get the same dose. But what makes it so miraculous in this day of the pandemic, the most viral of all diseases of all times, is that I have a healing solution that's more viral than any disease ever manufactured, created by anyone. And it's called kindness. Because if you witness kindness, if you just witness it, so you can have your mask on, your hazmat suit on, as long as you witness it, and you don't have to be there in person, you can see it here on StreamYard, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins are released. The giver, the receiver, and the witness of kindness all receive the same gift, the greatest gift that we've been given of happiness. And I want everyone to be kind to their future self. I want everyone to do three things as the time is running out. Appreciate what you have. That expands it. It's add value. Acknowledge it. Give it away. Give it away. Acknowledge it. Acquire the knowledge of what you have by giving away. But do something that most people don't do. Ask for more. Fill that vessel so that you have more. Don't let it depreciate, dissolve, and disappear by not asking for what is rightfully yours. More kindness. So I want you to complete the flow of the entire circle of kindness. Give it, receive it, and witness it. Especially today, but more importantly, every day, have the coherence to remember and to do kind things.
Oh, lovely said. I know. That's right. I know. He reminded me. Clock's got to go. I'm putting 1 minute on the clock. You got to go. Both of you guys. I'm telling you, I love you both. You know that. Anytime you need anything, which I don't know what I could offer other than just a little bit of sunshine like this, just give me a call. Empathy Wine coming in New York. I can't wait to go one day to New York. David, I've never been to New York. Can you imagine? I've never been to Yes.
Oh,
look at my hair.
I'll go with you. I'll pay for you to go. I will take anyone to New York that's never been to New York. It's
never been.
It's like taking someone to the Super Bowl that's never been, but New York's the Super Bowl of Super Bowls.
That's right.
I've never been, so I've got to tell you, so excited, and love to come see you as well. Absolutely. David, want to ask you this. Finish this sentence for me, my friend. I love my life because.
I love my life because of what I'm connected to and through, the greatest source of light, love, and lessons. I just got to figure out what I'm doing to interfere with it.
Oh, gosh, I love that. Oh, here's the beautiful person. Claude. I love my life because
I love my life because of all the blessings and all the lessons that I've learned and the ability that I've been given to share those.
Oh, and you both do that like unbelievably. Listen, I love you guys. I can't
welcome.
tell you enough. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys.
I'm taking a picture. I'm taking a quick
Oh,
picture.
take a quick picture, please do.
Text
love
it
you.
to me.
I love it. It's
Text
so
it
good to
to me,
see you
Claude.
guys.
Text me that picture.
I will. I will.
Please do. Everybody, stick around, everybody. I'm going to play this video out for Claude, a little conversation we had. David, Claude, you go out and make the world better because you do it for me. You do it for me. Cheers.
Love you.
Another one of your favorite words is actually something I talk about here a lot with people is reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
I love that term. I use it a lot, and it's fascinating how people respond to the word reciprocity. And I'm going to tell you something really, really interesting. And this is why we're leading up to when I hear your take on this. The idea of reciprocity, when we talk about kindness, empathy, and reciprocity, and this idea, and I often ask people this concept is that, is there reciprocity within kindness? So in other words, you know, if you do things because you're being kind, does reciprocity find its way in there? Because somebody might say, well, you're just being kind because you expect something in return, or you're being empathetic and caring because you expect something in return, which becomes more transactional. Talk to me a little bit about your thoughts on those three things coming together: kindness, empathy, and reciprocity.
Yeah, so interesting. I would never actually say that people are kind because they're expecting something in return, because I just don't believe that. And I like to be naive like that. That's a good place for me to be. The act of kindness, you know, empathy is the emotion. Kindness and compassion are the actions that come out of that. And I believe that those have a knock-on effect, and they do create reciprocity. It is the law of reciprocity. It's a domino effect. What goes around comes around. And if I spend enough time with you, or you spend enough time with me, or Susan, or Bob, or whatever, we feel something. We want to leave people feeling something, and that something is better. That something is seen. That something is that they belong. And that they take with them to the next conversation, to the next store they go to their daughter, to their son. And right there is how the ecosystem becomes larger and larger and larger. And that is the science of reciprocity. That is the spirit of generosity. So for me, what's good for the goose is always good for the gander when it comes to that. Those three things belong together always. That's how the world goes around and around and around.
How cool is that? Jacqueline Way, good to see you back again.
Wow, what a conversation. You know, I love that David, they both, they speak about kindness and compassion the same way that I do. You know, the energy that comes from that, the awareness, the consciousness. I mean, we're just on such the same page, and really that's what we are seeing more and more of, the awareness that is being created, not just because of campaigns like this, but the awareness of how this can change ourselves and how it changes the world.
Yeah, so one act of kindness at a time. And I listen, I completely agree with you on what you say. When I say agree, I'm just acknowledging it, that you do speak that language, and they do too. And it's not even actually when you're asking them questions. I've had quick little conversations with them, not on air, and it's just in their language. It's funny how you can hear it in people's language when you meet people. You run into them. You might be at a little gathering or barbecue or something, and you hear somebody and you're like, they're using the language of love, kindness.
Yeah, it's funny. I literally just posted, and I'll be putting it on LinkedIn as well. I just created a video this morning for the day today. And, the very last part of the video is you don't do kind. You be kind. It's who we are, right? It's who we are in the heart of this human experience, that we're having right now. And I said this before, it's the common thread through every single human being. It's no different. You and I are no different. I may speak different words. I may do different actions, but it really runs through everyone.
Yeah, it sure does. I want to acknowledge, thank you for that, Jacqueline. I want to acknowledge everybody still, watching and so on. That last little segment was a incredible whirlwind. It goes very quickly because I could literally sit and chat with either one of them. So could you. I mean, can you imagine
All day. Put me on
pouring
a
up a
day.
little
You make
cocktail?
campfire with those two.
Can you imagine? I mean, it's amazing. So, Andrea, thank you. Well said. Kindness is international. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely agree with that. Checking in from Indianapolis. Good to see you, Kevin. Hey, thank you very much. International. Here we are. We're spreading the love and the joy. And absolutely, Andrea, thank you for that. Appreciate that. It's good to see Maddie. Thanks for allowing this needed focus on making the world better. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate that. I know Maddie's an amazing human being and a real proponent of conversations around ADHD. Just want to give a little plug for that as well, just to make sure that we're all using the language here so that we can, it's a language of love. That is for sure. No doubt about that. Let's see who else is here right now. Oh, hey, it's good to see Jake. Jake was here. Good to see you, Jake. Absolutely appreciate that. He's in David's organization. Always good to see you here as well. Appreciate that. Let's see, here we are. Look at this. Yes, family, love. Messaging from David. Absolutely. And look who's in the house to see you. He's here to see you.
There it is.
I'm just
Rob
is there. He's only here for you. I just telling you straight out.
Oh, you know what? Rob House is there for everybody. That's kind. If you want to talk about a kind, loving human being, that's Rob House.
There you go. There you go. I just teasing. He has a great Freestyle Friday. Everybody check that out. Always enjoy that. And these are great comments. I just want to acknowledge, beautiful souls they are. It's great to see Claude again, and absolutely check out David's content. It's amazing. I watch his content like you wouldn't believe all the time. This is so good. I love this. Love the heart to heart. Wow, wow, wow. I love it. Amazing. Workspaces are changing in the way it allows spaces for whole person, mind, body, and soul.
Beautiful.
Absolutely true. And Dr. Rhonda, by the way, everybody, he does amazing content on LinkedIn as well when it comes to ideas of meditation and bringing peacefulness back, pulling it from nature and bringing it into your workplace and so on. Amazing stuff. So please check her out. She's always been a great supporter here of the show. So I wanted to make sure I gave that a quick shout out, that comment. Conscious, what is it? Oh, consistent times. I know.
It's what we talk about, right? Every day. Kindness isn't just Random Acts of Kindness Day. It is every day. It's who we can be every day. I've done it. I've shown it. That's what 365 Give is all about. It's about giving every day, being kind every day, putting love out to the world every day. 7.7 billion people were just a little more kind. One intentional, mindful act of kindness or giving every day, 365 days of the year, we would change the world, literally, flat out. We just need all 7 billion people moving in the same motion, that energetic motion of love. And that's kindness and giving, right? It's really that simple, and we make it so complicated, and it's really not.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I know you think about things in your own life in general. I know I complicate pretty much everything. I analyze everything to death. And being kind is actually one that you really don't have a lot of, there's not a lot of controversy there. It's like,
there's no argument in that one.
Yeah, it's not a whole bunch of leaders are people that actually allows leaders to act like it. And it's absolutely true. I was talking about that with them. I wanted to touch on it with you as well, because I know you talk to many, many people across the globe, and especially in Clubhouse. I know you're doing real cool things there. You have, you're doing work on Wisdom, which is another app, everybody. Again, go check out what Jacqueline is doing. So you talk to people all over the world. I'll pose the same question to you just so that we can round it out, is that, are we asking too much of leaders to do that? I wonder. I always wonder that, because I see, we're expecting leaders to have this understanding of kindness and empathy and compassion, and maybe that's just not how they were actually kind of raised, and all these kinds of factors at play. What do you think of that concept?
Absolutely. Listen, what we know is, and we I talk a lot about this, and it's about our brain programming, right? And so we know that generational, and we'll say this, as a parent, I can say this, I will hear at times words come out of my mouth that my father or mother used to say to me when I was a kid, right? And you look at your behaviors and how you show up in the world, and repeated actions potentially, or repeated behaviors in your life. Normally, this is a lot of brain programming that goes on. We have to remember that this brain on our head is literally like a computer that is programmed through experiences and perceptions throughout our life. But what we know as well is that we can be programmed for kindness. We can be programmed for not kindness, but our innate human nature, and it's what I loved about the last comment, our human nature, our reward system, it's what David was talking about, the dopamine, which is our natural reward system in our body, oxytocin, that's love in our body for people that don't know these words, serotonin, that's our body's happiness transmitter, and our endorphins, that's that rush, that's a runner's high. The fact that these all fire and wire at the exact same time while you're being kind or giving, that's Mother Nature's way. That's our innate human nature, both physically and from the heart, both ways. So when we're asking leaders, is it too much? You're actually just asking people to understand human nature. And to me, if you're going to be a leader in any company, in any part of the world, big or small, you should understand human nature. That's part of being a leader. So that is the core of human nature. And so is it asking leaders too much to understand human nature, how your employees function at their best, how to understand how to create health and happiness and well-being for your employees, to understand how to reduce their stress so they're more productive for you? Is that asking too much? Absolutely not.
No.
And why wouldn't you is my, that's like, you want your employees to function at their optimal best. That's the simple learning, and it's not complicated. You don't have to take 100 courses. You can go to Harvard and take the course, but you don't need to. The information is readily available. You just made it available for everybody. Every single leader on LinkedIn, you can watch it right here. Between all of us, we have shared all you need to know to go and start implementing simple programs, simple things in your workplace to increase the kindness and happiness in your workplaces.
Scott, you always say,
yeah, it's like my whole thing is why wouldn't you? Like, it's just, you can't, like, we're talking ROI increased in revenue. They've measured it. Microsoft did this. I'll share this with everybody. Microsoft actually did a research on this, or sorry, it wasn't Microsoft, it was Google. They increased the happiness of their people 23%. And when you look up the functionality of a happier brain and how that translates to your bottom line, it was like an increase in revenue by 14%. Like, who doesn't like numbers like that?
Yeah, especially at those. You're talking about.
Oh my God, happiness and revenue. I mean, like,
right?
You have a happy company, you have people functioning well, and you're making more money. Wow, wouldn't we all like that in our lives?
100%. I just want to acknowledge some more comments coming in for you specifically, even that's for sure. Not just comments in general. They're here for you, Jacqueline. I know they are. It's all good.
Oh, Peter, they're here for you. This is your show, man. You're the star. I mean, all these people always show up for you.
I appreciate that. No, I'm teasing. Karen Judge, right back at you. Yeah, we need more. We need more love. That's for sure. And Rhonda, great to we're feeling lots of love today. Here's something I wanted to mention that she also typed in. It's like everything: exercising, sleeping, eating healthy foods, practicing self-care. We can make the easy things so hard, but it really isn't. And there you go. You know, it's funny. I mean, it's $1 billion industry, continues to grow, which is exercise, for example. And we all know what it is.
Think of all the money that you randomly put into your companies, right? Or leaders put in, like the waste of money. Sorry, I'll bring up the Super Bowl. I mean, how much money was spent by companies buying tickets to go see the Super Bowl when, you know, just that amount of money that could be spent on, you know, other things could be that investment into your employees. I mean, this is a daily habit we're talking about, right? These are habits. And what we know about a habit is that it takes up to, they say 21 days. It's not, it's the wrong number. Research tells us it's 66 days to form a new habit for most people on average. Some will be a little less, some will be a little bit more. And what Rhonda was talking about as well is that we need to, in every area of our life, and whether that's a person at home with a small business, it's with your family, or it's in the larger corporations, these are practices, ways of life that you have to, it becomes a habit, a daily habit, just like brushing your teeth, right? You didn't learn to brush your teeth. It took like 3 years of your mother telling you to brush your teeth every day before you just learned and took responsibility for yourself to brush your teeth every day. But it's like that with every practice in our life, and cultivating a heart-centered approach to well-being and health and happiness in our own lives. It's that important. But you have to practice it. That's why I say random acts of it's intention, right? It's setting the intention every day until you innately just have it, and it is who you are. You've brought it out in yourself.
Yeah, again, it's practice. I'm living it right now. I mean, I'm living it right now through the healing process of the physicality of things, and then the psychology of things. They obviously they are different, but they're so intertwined that sometimes you can't even tell the difference of what's really causing something. So physically speaking, again, you talk about exercising and so on. We think it's for the body, but it's so good for the mind. Like you said, the endorphins that get released and so on. And you talked about that dose of happiness and so on with Kevin. It's funny. The interview that we've done a couple of these now, and each time you've explained it so well. So I hope everyone goes and watches those shows. But every person here today actually seem to kind of gravitate back to the physicality of being kind, the idea that it releases these chemicals in our body where we can actually just watch somebody being kind and we just feel good, we feel better. I'm like that all the time. I can't watch anything and I tear up. I mean, anything I watch kindness, it just resonates with me and so on.
It's they're called mirror neurons in our brain. Right? And it's really interesting because people as well think that, we always think of our brain as separate from our body, but it's actually connected with this thing called our spinal cord, our energetic system that runs all the way down our back. And so anything that goes into our brain or that's running through our head or our mind, it's running physically through our body at the same time, because it is all interconnected. And I love that you brought that up, because it's that reminder to people, and what we were talking about consumption earlier, and what you're consuming for your mind and how you're programming your mind yourself, that's physically running through every cell of your body, right? You and I have talked about this. How do you drop from your head to your heart? How do you lead from your heart versus your head? There's actually more energy that comes off your heart than it does off your head. And David was talking about this as well, as part of your conversation with him. And this is coherence, is what he was talking about. Right. And, I talk about this as heart coherence. And when you're kind and giving, you're taking the energy that comes from your heart, which can be physically measured. This is science. This isn't woo-woo, but the energy that comes off your heart, that coherence. And when you put that out into the world, that energetic, there's an exchange, right? We talk about this when you can feel that energetic exchange between two people. That happens. There's an energetic exchange between you and the planet. Our planet is a living thing, right? We don't just call it Mama Guy. It's actually a living thing. And so it also radiates an energetic frequency. It's all around us. So when we learn to drop from our head to our heart, it's the heart coherence that's all about the kindness and the love and the giving. That's what comes out, and it radiates from us. And that's the energy that you can feel from another person.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I'm super sensitive to being around.
You know this, right? Empaths always say this, right?
Gosh, it's to the point of it's to the point where it literally it affects you in the sense of like you can feel it. It's just like touching.
It's those goosebumps, right? Those good goosebump moments, and then there's those times where you just want to go, "Oh yeah, that's good. That's good." Right?
I remove myself from this. Exactly, I get it. I really do. Hey, listen, I super appreciate you being. What an incredible show we had today. I want to wind
Peter, another amazing show. What a gift you are to LinkedIn, and everybody who's watching, like, tag LinkedIn on this. Like, the fact that they don't give Peter nearly enough recognition for the work that he does on this platform. That it's what needs to be recognized. The amount of work and dedication that you put into the show is unbelievable for us all. So thank you, my friend, for all you do, because it's amazing.
That is a super kind thing. You are super kind to me all the time.
There you go. I got my random act of kindness in for that.
Well, I'm going to give the platform. I'm going to give the platform over to you, as I did with the other two beautiful souls, and including Brooke as well. The three beautiful souls that joined us on this conversation. What kind of message can we leave right now from you about this day? What's the message right now? It doesn't have to be in any context of business or referring to a platform or anything. just generally speaking, what this day means to you, and what's your message about kindness?
My simple message about kindness is dig in. It's who you are. It's who we all are. And make it the first thing on your to-do list. Claude gave a beautiful example. Text 3 people. Do it every day, right? If you're on social media, here on LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever your handles are, just post something that's positive, that's good, that sends love. I did a post on Instagram with 365 Give the other day, and it just said, "You're beautiful." It's that simple, with a heart. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. It's these little things that we can do every day and implement this every day into your world. And I promise you, after practicing this for 365 days with the 3-year-old, it will change the way you look at the world. Somebody recently said to me, you look at the world like it's some romance novel. And I said, oh, thank God. And thank God. Because you know what? It's the world that I want to look at, live in, and perceive. And I know that when I look out into the world through the lens of love, that everything around me changes. And that's what I choose to see in this world. And it's what I choose to be in this world. So that's what I say. Just go be love. And it just feels so good. It's worth it. Your life will change.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I'm a big Wayne Dyer fan, and I love this concept. I mean, I know it's probably a general concept, but I remember it most from him saying, when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change.
Things that you look at change, and it's true.
I love what you just said there. It's like, oh, you see the world this way. It's like, thank goodness I do.
Oh my God. Yeah. And it was a complete criticism. It's like, yeah, the world's just not that. And I'm like, oh yeah, my world is. Mine is. Mine's a love story all the way around.
Your world is that for me. I'm telling you straight out. Your world is that for me. I can't thank you enough publicly for the kindness you've shared with me.
Not kindness. It's love. It's love.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. I super appreciate that. I want to make sure everyone knows how to reach you. Please go out 365give.ca. April 21st, if I'm not mistaken. Does that sound right?
April 21st, do one give day.
Do one give
day. It's a day of love. We're spreading love all day long on Do One Give Day.
That's
what Do One Give Day is this year. We are spreading love flat out.
Oh, it sounds like a Red TV day. That's what it sounds
like. A Red TV day.
Sounds like another one of these right here. We're going to have to do it. But April 21st, 2022, please go to the website, find out more, reach out to Jacqueline directly. Go on the website, get some ideas, learn how to participate, download what you can. Any questions? There she is right there. That beautiful right there. So good to see you again. I mean,
so great to be here. It's like home. It's just home.
I hope everybody in the audience or who's watching it live or if you're watching on repeat, thank you so much. I hope you gained something out of this. Beautiful guest today, Brooke Jones with the foundation, a Random Acts of Kindness Foundation. She spoke that language. I think we need to do something together, Jacqueline, on that. Claude Silver, how can I thank you enough? I mean, seriously, she's just something else. Super kind. David Meltzer, you, my friend. I want to put this. Hey, Jacqueline, stay with me here, but I have to throw something up here for. And I said, I just can't believe he does this every Friday, and I just want to make sure everyone sees this. David does free training every Friday.
Wow.
Like free.
That's amazing.
Friday.
You get to learn from him for free?
For free.
Wow.
So I just wanted to make sure everyone saw that because I can't believe he does that. And there it is right there, the website right there.
Amazing.
But every Friday, I wanted to make sure everyone hears that and sees that. David Meltzer, just a fabulous soul. He's got it all dialed in, and you get free training. You can ask questions, and it's fantastic. So
that's amazing.
So anyway,
I want to pop into that one.
Yeah, I want to make sure that everyone heard that, and you can check it out on his website of how to sign up and so on.
We need him to do LinkedIn audio. Maybe he'll do an audio room.
Well, yeah, hopefully, right? I mean, I know he pops in and out of Clubhouse as well, as you do, which super glad to always catch you doing that. And if you're not on Clubhouse, everybody just learn a little bit about clubhouse.com. You can go check it out. Audio app. LinkedIn audio is also available, but it's rolling out slowly and so on. Good to see you. Always a pleasure. Stick around. Can we chat after? You got time? You got time to chat after?
Yeah, absolutely. Namaste.
Okay.
Namaste, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. You know how we do this around here. Just be kind out there. Just be kind.
Just be kind.
Just be kind. It's simple stuff. Speaking of kindness, I'll end the show like this. I'll never forget it. Life-changing, a trip to Rwanda. And this beautiful little soul was with me all day, teaching me the language. And he's looking for a pen. I gave him a pen. 15 minutes later, he comes back and gives me his ball. And I have it right here. It's like within arm's reach of me right now. I always have it here. It just reminds me that how beautiful kindness can be. And he did not have to do that. So it was a true, from the soul, kindness, act of kindness. So I so appreciate that. We'll end with that. Be kind, everybody. Be kind out there. See you on the other side, Jacqueline.
See you on the other side.
So I found a new friend, and we traded a pen for this soccer ball. And I thought it was really nice because I just gave him the pen because he'd been helping me throughout the day to learn Kinyarwanda. And he's a very smart boy, knows English very well, very good English. Yes. So I gave him a pen, which they love pens, and 10-15 minutes later, he came back and gave me a ball for the trade. So I just thought that was really, really cool because I didn't ask for it. So 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗃𝗃. Yeah, 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗃. Yeah, so he gave me that. So I'm really, really happy about that. And I'll be bringing this back to Canada. And yeah, I thought it was awesome. He's a really, really, really clever kid. He's going to be an English teacher. Professor. Yeah. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.